Hey there, welcome back to the We Miss the Exit show. We're going to do the Italian Grand Prix review. It is race week once again, with the cancellation of the Russian Grand Prix. We've had 3 weeks off here. The Singapore Grand Prix is going to be this coming weekend, so let's do the review while we have time still. Alright, the Italian Grand Prix, Monza, classic track, the boot, is what it reminds me of. It's the track I always pick when I play the game, the first Formula One game the first time, um, just because it sticks out with me. So I asked again, which Mercedes driver is going to cause the collision at the Italian Grand Prix, and Hamilton won yet again. This race, no Mercedes driver caused a collision, but it was close there in the beginning. Would have been Russell, who was close to causing a collision, and we'll get to that in a little bit. All right. So, the start of the race, Leclerc got off to a great start. Like I said, Russell was going crazy for some reason. He was all over the place. Commentators, singing his praise. Didn't even say anything about his erratic driving for some reason. Not quite sure where they got that from, but um, that's what it was. And again, Leclerc off to a great start. Lap 5 is when things get interesting. Max Verstappen passes Russell. Beautiful, clean move. Russell um, racing fine at that time, not as dangerous as last year when Max went to go get around Hamilton. And Hamilton again ran into him and caused that collision right at the turn. And Max ended up on top of Hamilton. Same time, Sainz moves up to 10th. He had a great race, starting from towards the back. Definitely hurt him in this race. Lap 8, and Perez is pitting already for some reason. He went from medium to hard. I think he was having a few issues because there was a fire in his car, and that was caused by um, one of the visor strips getting stuck in his car. It burned out, but a little freaky at first. I have a feeling that's why he came in early, but he went from hards to mediums. Lap 11 is when Sainz moved up to 6th. Like I said, he was running like crazy. He had a great race. If he didn't start so far back, and if the race didn't end how it did, I think he would have gotten a little bit higher on the list. Lap 18, Max is pulling away from Russell. He's just flying around the track, catching up to Leclerc. Um, the Red Bull just looks fast out there. Lap 19 is when the pitting starts to go for everyone who's on the one-stop race. And Gasly tries the undercut, but it didn't work out. It was a good try from him, but just didn't quite have the pace to pull that off. And it was kind of a slow start, which definitely didn't help at all either. Lap 23, Hamilton moves up to 7th, mostly due to cars getting in the pits. He wasn't really passing anyone. He was kind of stuck in trains, stuck behind people, but um, he started towards the back, just was having trouble getting around people. Lap 24, Russell gets into the pits. He ends up in 4th. Excuse me. He ends up in 4th place behind the Ferraris. Um, Sorry about that. Ends up 4th place behind the Ferraris. Going out on hard tires. Playing on that one-stop race. Lap 25, Max Verstappen pits. He goes on mediums. Not sure if he's planning on taking those to the end or not. We'll get to that later. Leclerc takes back the lead. He's winning the race. He had a good race. Again, we'll get to towards the end. Lap 28, Max is catching Leclerc. He has great pace on the hards. The hards seem to go back and forth whether or not they were good or bad. To me, I think they look like great tires. Definitely look like the tires to have, but I'm not driving, so what do I know? Let's see. Lap 31, Sainz pits, goes on to soft, comes out on in 8th. A little surprising move to put him out on soft so early, but it's what they did. You definitely would think he'd have to pit one more time from the softs, but the softs were definitely the best tire um, as always, for the best pace. Lap 32, Alonso has car issues. He pits and he's out of the race, so we're down a racer. Lap 33, Sainz gets around Perez. Those softs are definitely paying off for him. But to me, Perez, once again, just seems off pace, having a little bit trouble, um, having a little trouble keeping up for some reason. All right. Let's see. Lap 34, Leclerc pits again. Puts on softs. He ends up coming out in second. Now the softs should be able to help him um, catch up to Verstappen and possibly take the lead. Hopefully the tires make it the rest of the race, but again, we'll get to that later on. Lap 36, Norris pits, gets on softs, comes out in eighth. Very slow stop for McLaren for some reason. Lap 41, Stroll has car issues, so he pits and is out. And I definitely missed something in here because Alonso was not the first car out. He was the second car. Stroll was the third. Seb was out in lap 24, which is where um, Leclerc pit for the first time. So yeah, I missed some of my notes. So Seb is out, Stroll's out, Alonso's out um, of this race. And let's see if I can keep my notes in order here. Lap 42, Mick Schumacher passes Latifi. Very aggressive move, beautiful move, great move on Latifi, who uh, just doesn't have pace. But it was a great move from Mick, very clean and um, very surprising. He doesn't have a seat yet for next year. It's a shame if he doesn't race next year. There still are a few seats left open. We'll see what happens. Lap 43, Perez pits, goes on softs, comes out in seventh place, but those softs should give him some pace. Hopefully, make him some time there. Lap 47, and the curse continues. Ricardo's car breaks down on the track. There's a safety car that comes out. Ricardo is not going to finish the race. The third year in a row that the winner of the previous year does not finish the race. And with his car being on the track and with the issues he had, his car is stuck in gear and they are having trouble moving it. The safety car is out. Russell and Sainz pit right away. Norris, Max, and Leclerc right behind them. Obviously further ahead. It's just the way that things ended up in the order. Sonoda, DeVries, uh, also pit. DeVries seemed to have some braking issues, but those seem to get cleared up. Um, so they're clearing uh, Ricardo's car off the track. They have to pull the machine to pick up the cars to get it off the track. Hamilton is forced to stay out with Perez being so close behind him. He would have definitely lost a spot given Perez only pit a couple laps before that. He's on fresh tires and definitely would not have to pit. The commentators are talking about what they should do. Typically, under the situations, according to commentary, they would just finish the race under the safety car. I personally think that given they had to pick the car up to move it, especially was on the track, drivers going past it, they definitely should have done a red flag and had a standing start, but that's not my choice. Was towards the end of the race. So behind a safety car, Max Verstappen does win the race, his fifth win in a row, and in my opinion, he probably would have won anyway. Leclerc had great pace. He definitely did have a great race, but Max has been killing it lately, and it would have been pretty surprising if he didn't win the race. So Max is really close to clinching his second world title. We'll get to that in a little bit. After the race, Damon Hill said Latifi clearly doesn't have the pace, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And to me, he was implying that Latifi definitely shouldn't be racing in F1, which I've been saying for years now. So the finals here for the results for the race. Max Verstappen again your winner, followed by Leclerc and Russell. Sainz was able to make his way up to fourth. Hamilton ended up in fifth. Perez sixth. Norris seventh. Gasly eighth. In his F1 debut, Nick De Vries ended up in ninth, scoring some points, and Zhou ended up in 10th. Um, with Nick getting points on his first race, even with the safety car, I think he would have scored points. Maybe not ninth, maybe 10th, but he had a great race. He was definitely doing well besides the brake issues and a few other things, but those are small mistakes that other drivers have been doing for years, including Latifi. Like I said, I think Max would have won the race regardless of what happened with the safety car, but um, definitely helped him secure it. Leclerc definitely would have been nice to have him get that chance to win the race or at least battle him if it was not for red flag standing start. So my predictions versus what really happened, I thought Leclerc was going to win. He again ended up. It was not correct. I did not update that part. He ended up in second. Verstappen, I said, was going to get second. He ended up in first. Perez top 10. Russell ended up top 10. Norris top 10. Sainz top 10. Alonso obviously didn't finish the race, so that was wrong. Hamilton was in the top 10. Gasly was he was in the top 10. Gasly was top 10, and De Vries was also top 10. Um, so um, I got it pretty right. I don't think I got anyone right 100%, but I was pretty close. Got a lot of top 10. My driver of the day is the same as F1's Nick De Vries. Scoring points on his debut, he's definitely going to be a great racer to follow as years to come. If you follow Formula E, you've definitely seen him uh, be a great racer there. It'll be great to see him in F1 if he does join. Um, my feeling is he's going to end up in that Williams seat. We'll get to that in the F1, the Singapore preview, but Latifi is definitely officially out at Williams, and I think De Vries is going to take that spot. He'll be the next driver set up to possibly replace Hamilton when he ends up retiring and joining Russell at Mercedes. So the standings here after the the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. Hold on one second. All right, Max Verstappen maintains his lead. He has 335 points. Leclerc's in second with 219. Perez in third with 210. Russell right behind him with 203. Sainz in fifth with 187. Hamilton in sixth with 168. Norris in seventh with 88. Ocon in eighth with 66. Alonso in ninth with 59. Bottas in 10th with 46. It's been a while since Bottas scored some points. He needs to get on it. Magnussen is in 11th with 22. He also needs some points here soon. Gasly in 12th with 22. Vettel in 13th with 20. Ricciardo in 14th with 19. Schumacher in 15th with 12. Sonoda's in 16th with 11. Zhou's in 17th with 6. Stroll is in 18th with 5. Albon's in 19th with 4. And De Vries is in 20th with 2 points. Not even going to bother listing Latifi anymore. Until he scores some points, I'm not making changes to this whole lot. If he's not even going to bother trying to race. The constructor standings at this point, Red Bull is in first with 545, Ferrari's in second with 406, Mercedes in third with 371, Alpine's in fourth with 125, McLaren's in fifth with 107, Alfa Romeo's in sixth with 52, Haas in seventh with 34, AlphaTauri's in eighth with 33, Aston Martin is in ninth with 25, and Williams is in 10th with 6. Next race again is going to be the Singapore Grand Prix. It's October 2nd this weekend. And we're looking forward to doing our preview on Saturday evening. Hopefully before the race. If you want, you can always reach us on Twitter at We Miss the Exit. And we're streaming the shows on Twitch at We Miss the Exit. You can also view our older videos on YouTube and new videos on YouTube. We'll try to keep that updated. We are also on Instagram now at We Miss the Exit. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed the race.